We have achieved a nice presentation for our threads and posts. Let's go a step further and implement forums. This is the forum page from our mockups. Forums are collections of threads. So, a forum called pets will contain threads about pets. The design mockups also contain subforums, like dogs and cats. To avoid adding extra complexity to the business logic, let's not implement subforums initially. To get the ball rolling with forums, let's create the forum page that will render a single forum. Since this is a page, I will create a component under the pages directory and I will give it a name of forum. Forum show could also be a suitable name, but I know that we are not going to have more forum-related pages, so I will stick to forum. With the component in place, I will create a new route for it. The path will be /forum/id. I will give it a name of forum, and the component will be forum. Remember that in order to set the route parameters as a component prop, we have to set the props option to true. Let's import the component and we are good to go. I will open our mockup again to grab the HTML code for the forum page. I will place that inside our forums template. It looks dirty at the first glance, but it will be fine once we clean it up. You might notice that this element with the class of thread list is actually our thread list component. So we can replace this div with a thread list tag. And let's also delete the pagination that will later be part of the thread list component. Now, this row displays the subforums, which we don't need now, so I will delete it. Next, I will delete the breadcrumbs from the top. We also need to remove the div with the class of container since it is being rendered in the app component. It looks great already. Let's work on the component options. Firstly, we need to define the components we are about to use. We know that we need the thread list component. And here, as you can see, WebStorm has imported this for me when I use the tag in the template. All I need to do is to add some spaces around the object so it passes by my ESLint. Next, we should define the ID property which is coming from the route. The ID should be required and should be a string. Once we have the ID, we need to find the corresponding forum. So I will create a computed property forum and then import source data on top. We can find the forum by searching in sourcedata.forums. Then we need to find the threads that belong to this specific forum. I will add a new computed property, threads. Here, to find forums threads, we have to filter sourcedata.threads. Using the JavaScript filter method, we can filter the threads whose forum ID is equal to the component's ID property. Now we can pass the threads to the thread list component as a prop. Let's see what we get in the browser. I will open this forum that I have opened when I tested this link. You can find all the forum IDs in our data.json file. This is awesome. It works great, and here we see the threads for the specific forum. Let's try another forum. Boom! Now we see some other threads. Let's go ahead and implement the forum details on top, instead of the hard-coded values that we copied from the mockup. I will switch out the static values with forum name and forum description. Let's check it out. Here we now see the details of the forum. If I navigate to the previous forum, give it a refresh, we see that the details update along with a thread list. That's awesome. One thing I noticed is that because we are not showing any sub-forums, our thread list sticks to the header. We can use the pushStop class to give it some space. Now this looks great.